Section 8.8 Credit Cards. This section, we are going to find the interest, the balance due, and the minimum monthly payment for the credit card loans, and to understand the pros and cons of using the credit card. Open-end installment loans. Using a credit card is an example of an open-end installment loan, commonly called revolving credit. Open-end loans differ from the fixed installment loans such as the car loans in that there is no schedule for paying a fixed amount each period. So it's open-end, so you can pay any amount as you want. Credit card loans require users to make only a minimum monthly payment that depends on the unpaid balance and the interest rate. And we're going to work on how to compute the unpaid balance of the credit card loan. The interest on credit cards is computed using the simple interest formula I equals P times R times T. Note that R represents the monthly interest rate, not the annual rate like the earlier examples that you worked on, and T as a time in months rather than in years. So most credit card customers are billed every month. A statement is called an itemized billing that includes the unpaid balance in the first day of the billing period, the total balance owed on the last day of the billing period, a list of purchases and cash advances if it's available, any finance charges or fees, the payment due date, and the minimum payment required. Interest on credit card and the method that we use is called the average daily balance method. This is a method for calculating the interest or finance charges on credit cards. There are many ways, but the way that we're going to focus on is called the average daily balance method. The daily balance method, we are going to compute the average daily balance by finding the sum of the unpaid balances for each day in the billing period divided by the number of days in the billing period. For the steps of the average daily balance method, step 1, we're going to make the table that shows the beginning date of the billing period, each transaction date, and the unpaid balance for each date. Step 2, we're going to add a column to the table that shows the number of days at each unpaid balance. Step number 3, add a final column to the table that shows each unpaid balance multiplied by the number of the days of the balance is outstanding. Step 4, find the sum of the product in the final column of the table. This dollar amount is the sum of the unpaid balances for each day in the billing period. And the last step, we're going to compute the average daily balance by dividing the sum of the unpaid balance for each day by the number of the days in the billing period. Let's see example. The first one, the credit card with the given transactions uses the average daily balance method to calculate interest. The monthly interest rate is 1.5% of the average daily balance. Calculate part A to D using the given statement. The transaction description, this is for the month of March. Part A, we're going to find the average daily balance. Part B, we're going to find the interest that had to be paid on April 1, which is the next billing date. Part C, we're going to find the balance due on April 1st. And part D, we're going to use the condition that the credit card requires a $10 minimum monthly payment if the balance due at the end of the billing period is less than $360. Otherwise, the minimum monthly payment is 1 out of 36 or 1 divided by 36 of the balance due at the end of the billing period, rounded up to the nearest dollars, and then calculate what is the minimum monthly payment due by April 9. Basically, it depends on what is the balance. Less than $360, it's required to pay only $10. Otherwise, it's going to be 1/36 of the the balance. So let's work on part A. We're gonna find the average daily balance. The average daily balance is a sum of the unpaid balance for each day. So first of all, we're gonna create the columns. As in the step 1, it said make a table that shows the beginning date of the billing period, each transaction date, and the unpaid balance for each date. So for this example, we're gonna, based on information that we have, I'm gonna connect the use different ones, sorry. So gonna extend the table. How about make it bigger? Sorry, be easier to see. Okay. And then we're gonna work on starting with the date for this month. So date. The first transaction start from March 1st, the billing date. And then the next one happens on the 5th, that the payment was made. And next one gonna be March 7th. The next chart is March 12th. The next one is March 21st. Then the next column gonna be the column of unpaid balance. Unpaid balance on the first, the unpaid balance is carried, which is the previous balance. The number is 6370. On the 5th, then the payment was made. So the unpaid balance on the 5th gonna be 6370, or the previous balance subtracted by the credit, which is 450. So the balance on the 5th gonna be 5920. On the 7th, the charge $70. So then the balance will be like 5920 plus 70, and it comes up to be 5990. On the 12th, $60 spent. The balance will be 5990 plus 60, or 6050. On the 21st, car repaired for 290. So the balance will be 6050 plus 290, or 6340. And the next column gonna be column of the number of the days. The numbers of days. It's gonna be the number of days from the 1st before the 5th, gonna be 4. And then from the 5th before the 7th, gonna be 2. From the 7th before the 12th, gonna be 5. Basically, you subtract 5 and 1 to be 4, 7 and 5 to be 2, 12 and 5 to be 12 and 7 to be 5, 21 minus 12 gonna be 9. And then from 21 to the end of the cycle gonna be 11, because there are 31 days. So gonna be 11, and the total days of this month is 31, because this is the March month. Okay, so 4 days, the unpaid balance $6,370. 2 days, the balance 5920. Another 5 days, that's balance 5990, and so forth. And when you add this number up, the total number must be 31, or the number of the days for that month. The last number here, make sure you add the previous numbers and then take it out from the total number of the days in a month to get that number 11. And then the next column gonna be the product. The product of the unpaid balance and the number of the days. Extend this further. So the first one here gonna be 6370 multiplied by 4. Put the parentheses here as a product. And then the number is 25,480. And then the second one is the product of 5920 and 2. And number 2, yes, because 2 days. And the product is 11840. The second one is the product of 5990 and the number 5. We get the number 29950. Next one is the product of 60, 50, and 9 to get the value 5, 4, 4, 5, 0. 5, 4, 4, 5, 0, yes. And then the next one or the last row gonna be the product of 6, 3, 4, 0 and the number 11, which gives us the product 6, 9, 7, 4, 0. And then the last one gonna be the total. And the total is from the sum of 25,480 plus 11840 plus 29950 plus the next one is 54450 and the last one is 69740 and the number in this portion is 195, so 191460, sorry. All right, and then we're gonna use this number and this number to find the average daily balance. So then based on the formula, the average daily balance would be from the sum of unpaid balance for each day, or the number 191460 divided by the total days in the month, which is 31. That becomes the balance, the average balance for each day for this cycle is 6,176 and 13 cents. Part A is done. So we're going to use the number in part A to find the rest of the problem. So the next part, so let's put a note, the average daily balance is 617613 from part A. Then part B, we're going to find the interest to be paid on April 1st, which is the next billing date. To calculate the interest, or the I equals P times R times T. The P is the balance or the average daily balance. I'm going to put here, so this is the P. And the R, the monthly rate is 1.5%, which is 0.015. The time is going to be 1, because this is per month. This is the rate per month. So then to calculate the interest, which is I equals the P 6176.13 multiplied by the rate, monthly rate, which is 0.015 multiplied by 1 month equals 92.64. So the interest for this billing period is $92.64. And after that, we're gonna use it to compute the balance, the due So the balance due gonna be the average, not the average, the, what do you call, the number at the end of the table, which is this number, 6340. So 6340. Let's multiply, not multiply, 6340 plus the interest, which is 92.64. And then the balance due would be 6432.64. We use this number because this is the current number that show on the table, which is the last transaction, where 6176 is the average value. So to find the balance due, we're gonna use the current transaction, the amount at the current transaction. So then the balance due would be $64.32.64. And then in Part D, this credit card requires a $10 minimum monthly payment if the balance due at the end is less than 360. But this one is not, is greater than 360. So then we're gonna have to pay 1/6 of this amount as a minimum payment. So we can say the minimum payment due by April 9 is 1 of 36 of the quantity 6432.64, or $179, as we round to the nearest dollar.